Hi guys, it's Kenya, and today I'm going to give you an update and a tour of my houseplants. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so I brought my Majestic palm outside. I'm going to have to go ahead and pot it because you can see here it's developing like mold on top, and I was wondering why it's taking so long for these new shoots to open. Like, they've been on here for a couple of weeks now, but they haven't opened yet. And so I was like just looking at it, and it seems the wind is blowing, but it seems like the fronds are kind of drooped downward as opposed to being up like this one. And so that's what made me really take a closer look at it. And I'm so sad that it's got this mold like growing in there. So I'm going to go ahead and like scrape all of that off the top and then repot this in this larger pot here. And I think it will be much happier. And I'm noticing some little spots on the leaves here. If this will focus, you guys can see the little yellow spots there. I'm sure that's because of that. But yeah, it's starting to not look happy. So we're gonna go ahead before it gets to a really bad place. So yeah, I'm just inspecting all of the palm fronds. So yeah, we'll go ahead and repot this, and then I'll show you guys how it looks once it's repotted, and kind of keep you up to date as to how well it's doing and when these new palm fronds actually open. Because you can see there's a shoot down here coming to this one and this one. So it should be doing better than it is. So we're gonna get on top of it right now and get it going. Okay guys, so I wasn't really prepared to have to go ahead and repot this plant now. So I don't really have like exactly what I would want to use as it relates to potting soil, but I do have this all-purpose potting soil. I like to, especially if I was for my house plants, I would prefer to use like Miracle-Gro potting soil. But when I use plants for outside, I use a mix of topsoil and this all-purpose potting soil. But because I really am afraid to leave this any longer, I want to go ahead and repot this now. So I'm just going to use what I have, and this is about a half a bag of the potting soil mix, maybe a third of the bag. So I'm going to use a lot of topsoil, mix this in, and I'm also going to mix in a little bit of Miracle-Gro granules in with the soil to add some nutrients to it. And in this pot, I've already taken the little stopper out the bottom, and I'm going to just put a couple of rocks in here because you saw how large that hole is. I don't want the dirt to just pour straight through it when I water it. So I'll just make sure that the rocks kind of cover it a little bit so that the dirt doesn't just pour directly out of it, but it still can drain through. And you can see there's an opening down there, so you can see where the water will still have an opportunity to drain through. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and fill this up. I'll put that rock back. Fill this up with the dirt and then get the pot replanted. Okay guys, so I have here the topsoil mixture on this side, then the potting soil mixture on this side. You can see it's looser. The topsoil mixture is just regular dirt. It's hard like dirt. And then the blue granules, that's the Miracle-Gro. So I'm just going to mix this all together, and then we're going to put our plant in here, and then I will fill the top of the pot up once the plant is in place with just the potting soil mixture. So I'm going to mix this up until the blue, you can still see the little blue granules in there. I like to do this with my plants, especially if I'm not using the Miracle-Gro potting soil mix, which, like I said, I prefer to use that for my indoor plants. But for my outdoor plants, this is usually just how I plant them in the pot. by mixing in a little bit of Miracle Grow granules into the soil. So yes, I'm going to do that. Go ahead and I'm going to scrape off all of this mold on top as much as I can before I repot it. So yep, I'll be back. This is the root ball. So guys, while I'm out here repotting my plant, my neighbor heard me out, and so she reached over the fence and gave me some of her coriander that she's growing in her garden and some mint. Look at how healthy this mint is. I'm so super excited to have this. She gave me some last year, actually in this pot, I think, but it died, or maybe it was this pot. Yeah, and it all died. You can see from our winter storm. And so so I am going to repot this because she just pulled it straight out of her ground and gave it to me. So, and it's so healthy. I'm so happy to have it. So I'm going to plant that. And this coriander, I've never grown it before, and so I'm excited to have these herbs. And you can see she just put it in a little pot for me, and so that was so sweet. So I really appreciate her. So I wanted to just show you guys that, and I'll keep you posted on how this grows as well. Of course, this will be growing outside, which I'm tempted to bring this one in the house since it's already in a little pot, but I have my aloe vera in my windowsill in my kitchen, so I'm not sure where I would put this in the house. And she's been growing it outside anyway, so I may just leave it out here. But so that's another project, but I'm gonna have to put this in the dirt today, so I'm gonna have to find some dirt. I have these pots with old dirt. I don't want to reuse dirt, but I might have to because this is just out the ground. But anyway, I have my palm repotted now, and in my little watering can here I have about a teaspoon of Miracle Grow mixed in with this water. So I'm going to just water the plant, and then I'm going to leave it out here for a little while so that it can drain properly before I bring it inside. But I want to bring it in the house because it's very windy out here, and I don't want the plant to be damaged. So yeah, so that's my Majestic palm all repotted. Like I said, I'll keep you guys posted on the progress of how it continues to do, but I think it's going to be much happier now. And here I decided to go ahead and water my mint and cilantro in with the same Miracle Grow mix that I used for my palm. I did go ahead and decide to plant the coriander in a new pot so that it can have room to grow. And this mint, guys, is just so gorgeous. So I'm just giving them both a good drink of the Miracle Grow, and then I'll let them kind of do their thing. So here's a closer look at the coriander. You guys can see how healthy it is. I'm just really happy that my neighbor decided to share her crops with me because they're super healthy, and I hope to have a nice harvest also of this mint as well. You can see up close how beautiful and healthy this mint is. And so, yeah, so much thanks to my neighbor. Okay, guys, so I had to show you. Fancy is growing like a little weed. This is a new leaf, and there is a little bud that's starting to come here. And this one is also a new leaf, but it's already grown to be large size. So this is the newest one that just came out. Let me see here. This whole section here is new. So these 1, 2, 3 leaves are all new since I've gotten her. Okay, so I came around on the other side so you guys can see. Now these are the old leaves down here, and honestly I'm kind of waiting on them to drop off because I don't like them. I did wipe them all down. You know, you should keep the leaves clean because it helps with the photosynthesis. And so I bought some leaf cleaner because just wiping them with water doesn't get all of these little, I guess, water stains off. And this has been on here since I've had her, and I've had her for about a month now. And she's really happy here because she's growing. There's actually, it's 4 new leaves. This whole section here is new. When I got her, she didn't have that. So she's got these 4 new leaves here. This one, this one, this one, and this one. And these 2 came out almost at the same time, but this is the newest one. You can see it that it's still kind of light green. And if you look in there, there's another node for more leaves to come out. So she is just thriving here. I'm so happy. So I am going to clean the leaves off with this new leaf cleaner. I'll show you guys that in just a minute, but first I'll show you all the other plants. And so yeah, that is Fancy. Here is Curly, and I moved her outside because she was just not doing well in the house. I don't know why. Like, you can see she's lost a lot of leaves. They all turned brown and was just dropping in the house like crazy. So I cut everything back that was brown and brought her out here, and I put some Miracle Grow on her, and there's a few new little leaves coming, but they're also still turning brown for some reason. I don't know what's wrong. So I've got her out here hoping that some more indirect sunlight will help, but I'm afraid I might lose her, but I'll keep you posted. So that's what she's looking like right now. Although this is new growth. You can see that there. And I mean, and it's standing up because it was all just laying down, drooped over. It was just sad. She was sad. I was like, oh no, Curly is so sad. But you know what? I don't want to lose her, but you know, we'll see. We're working hard to keep her alive. So now let's go back inside. And next we have Drea here, and you can see she is growing also. So I think the last time when I introduced you guys to her, I named her Drake because it's a Dracaena plant. But someone in the comments recommended that I name her Drea for Dracaena, and I was like, oh, I love that because all of my plants are females. So they all have female names. And so I'm just kind of wiping the leaves off. They're dirty, but I'm going to use that the leaf cleaner that I mentioned on this as well. And she's almost ready for a new pot. I just have her sitting in that little planter, but she's still in the pot that I bought her originally in. And you can see the roots are starting to come out a little bit there. So I don't know, maybe on the weekend I'm gonna replant her. And I'm gonna have to do something too because my aloe vera are about to bust out of their pots. So that's Drea. She's looking good, 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 good. She's growing, getting big. And speaking of my aloe vera, I'll go ahead and show you guys those here. You can see how big they're growing. And like I said, these pots are so tight, guys, they're ready to come out. This one is not as bad as this one. You can see how big this one has gotten, and all the new growth in there as well. And this one also, you can see the new growth in there, the extra leaves there. So yeah, these are ready, 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 ready. They are beyond ready to come out of these little pots. And so I don't want to stunt the growth, but you can see how they're getting so big. So I need to put them in bigger pots so they can really flourish. And I have these cuttings here, and I'm gonna insert a little video on showing you guys how I put these together, but these cuttings have only been in here for about 4 days and they're already getting roots. So this is Wandering Jew that I picked up at the grocery store. Actually, I bought 2 new plants that I'll show you guys. They're outside, And these are some little droppings from it because I broke some pieces off. So I put them in water here. And they're actually starting to grow also, which I'm super excited about that. It's also a type of Wandering Jew, but I think it's called something else. I'll share with you guys that in a minute. But you can see how they're standing up, so they're moving towards the sunlight. So once they have roots on it, I'll pot those as well. But this Wandering Jew is getting roots. So when I'm ready to repot the aloe vera and Drea, then I'll go ahead and plant the Wandering Jew as well. And I might just put them directly in my flower garden, but if not, then I will put them in a pot. In the next video, I'll show you guys a tour of my flower garden. We've been getting so much rain that I haven't really been able to get out there much, but I will show you guys that. And you can see all the way in the background out there, that's my new plant that is the same as these little pieces here. So, but you can't see it too good. So I'll take you guys out there to see those now before we continue on with my house plants. So here's my new plant babies. And I have to say, guys, when I bought these, I did intend for them to be house plants, but it was raining on the day that I picked them up and I wanted them to go ahead and get watered. So I hung them out here on my shepherd's hooks, and I might leave them because I don't know, we'll see. But this is here's a little tag here, a Bolivian Jew. So instead of the Wandering Jew, which is what the purple ones were in the house, this is a Bolivian Jew. So I picked it up from my local HEB. They always have really nice plants, and you guys know I did get Fancy, my fiddle leaf fig, from HEB, and it's doing wonderfully. So these were actually so pretty, and they're so healthy looking and just so full. Like, do you see the mass on this plant? I was like, oh my goodness, like how can I not get it? And so, and they came on the hanging hook already, so that's why I just hung them out here. I am tempted to take the hooks off and put them in the house, but I think this would like to hang better because you can see all of the hanging foliage there. So I'm gonna just maybe leave it out here for a little while. And here's the other one. So I did get two of them, and this is the other one. And like I said, you guys can see how full they are and just so happy. They're so happy. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna leave them out here instead of trying to bring them in the house and make them a house plant. Even though they can live in the house, I just think that I'm gonna leave them out here until it gets super hot. Like when it gets really, really hot in the summer, then I'll probably bring them in or maybe hang them somewhere else so they're not getting full direct sunlight. Although they should be able to tolerate that, but you know what? It gets to be well over 100 degrees here, so I don't know. We'll see. Alrighty, so now let's head back in the house. And next we have here Maggie, my Majestic palm. And guys, you can see she's doing fabulous. So fabulous. She's so beautiful. If you remember, I did get her about, I don't know, maybe a month ago also, maybe a little less. Maybe I've had Fancy for a little over a month, maybe almost 2. And this one's almost month or a month and a half. And these center leaves were taking forever to open. And then I realized that she needed to be repotted. So since I've repotted her, and I think I have some footage of that repotting also I'll include in this video. But since I've repotted her, she is doing well, and now these fronds are starting to open, and these two here are still coming along as well. So she's got a lot of growth going on. Oh, and look, there's another little one down here coming. Woo-hoo-hoo, I'm so excited. So yes, she's doing perfectly fine. There's 1, 2, 3 fronds that are coming, and then this one is already starting to open. So Maggie is doing marvelous, and she's definitely a statement piece right here between my dining room and living room next to the fireplace. So now let's move on. And lastly, I have Lyra, my Schefflera, and she is a variegated Schefflera, but I'm sad to say that some of the variegation is starting to fade. And I did a little research, and they're saying that happens when the plant is not getting enough bright light. So she does get a good amount of light here in this corner next to this window. And then also our front door is glass, so you can see there's light shining in from the door, but apparently it's not enough. And so these leaves down here are still variegated, which I think are absolutely gorgeous, but some of the other ones are, like I said, losing their variegation. So over here where it's getting more sunlight, they're variegated. These are some new leaves down here, and they're just green for now, but this is all new growth here. So we'll see. I don't know, there's still a few down here, but I specifically noticed that these are starting to fade because I've been watching her just to make sure that I felt like she was getting enough sunlight and being happy in this corner, because there is some growth. Like you can see here, there's a new little leaf there. So yeah, there are new leaves coming in, but it's just making me sad that they're not variegated. So although I have had a Schefflera before and it was not variegated, and it's absolutely beautiful also, so I'm not too sad about it. But since I bought this one because it was variegated, and so I'd like for it to stay that way, right? But yeah, so she's growing, and so that's good. I'm happy about that. But losing the variegation makes me a little sad, but hopefully, so I'm thinking about finding her a new home as opposed to being right here, just because maybe there's another spot in my house that's more sunny. We'll see, but because I know that she likes to kind of stay put, but you know, if she's not happy, then I need to find a spot that's gonna make her very happy. But like I said, you know, we'll see how it goes. So anyway, I'm happy to report that she is growing. She's doing well. She's only dropped one leaf in all the time that I've had her, and I've had her for probably about 2 months also. I got her and Fancy right about the same time, and yeah, to only have dropped one leaf, I think is fantastic. So she's doing well. She's nice and healthy and happy. Just maybe, like I said, it's bright here, but maybe just not bright enough to keep the variegation. You can see how beautiful she is. So those are my plant babies that I wanted to share with you guys and how they're doing, their little update. So we've been getting quite a bit of rain, and we have a downpour going on right now, so I decided to bring my houseplants out so they can get a shower. Instead of watering them in the house like I normally do, I decided to just sit them out here so they can get some natural rain. And yeah, I think that's going to be good for them. You can see Fancy out there. I am watching her closely because sometimes the rain has been picking up and it's been really heavy. Like, it's kind of slacking up now, but when it's super heavy, I don't want the wind to blow her over. And Lyra is down here just loving it. And I actually have Maggie and Drea on the back porch. But yeah, those are my girls out here getting a little rain shower. Here's Maggie getting some rain. Andrea there is getting rain also down here. And guys, look at my mint. Oh my goodness, it is going crazy. It's bonkers how big it is. It's actually, I probably need to cut it back because this one's bending forward. Normally I would have it out on my little potting area where I have all of my veggies and herbs and things, but I just had it sitting here from when my neighbor gave it to me, and it's just flourishing. It's going crazy. But yeah, so Maggie and Andrea's out here enjoying the shower as well. And my new plants are there. I still have them out here. This Bolivian Jew. I need to think of a name for them. You know, I have two of them. That's one. And here's the other one. I don't have a name for them yet. So I'm going to have to think of a name for them. The Bolivian Jews that I have. Leave me a comment down below to let me know if you guys think of a really cool name for both of them. Okay guys, so I hope that you all will go ahead and click the subscribe button, click the like button, leave me a comment down below, and I look forward to seeing all of you on the next video. Much love and many blessings. Bye bye.